Hello my YouTubies, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I get my everyday makeup done. These are products that I have in this little bin with me. I mean, it's a big bin, but there are products that have stayed in here for months on end and I just cannot stop using. So I wanted to share those products with you today and also show you how I apply them on my skin for natural everyday makeup, and it's super fast and super quick and really easy to do. If you like these kinds of videos, be sure to give this one a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave because I do upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So can you guess what the first thing I'm gonna go in with is? The Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. You guys knew. I spray this all over my face. It helps wake me up in the morning. I just really like the way it feels. I also feel like it really hydrates my skin. Next, I go in with some sort of either mattifying primer or pore minimizing primer. So I'm going to go in with the Revlon Photo Ready Pore Reducing Primer. I've been really enjoying this. If you haven't seen my video comparing this to the Tarte Smoothing Primer, you definitely should check that out. But basically, this is really good. So I take a pump of that and put that on my T-zone. So on my forehead, down on the sides of my nose right here, and then also on my chin. This really helps smooth things out. It also keeps me pretty matte throughout the day, and it really reduces the look of my pores and just makes my skin look very smooth. Next, I'm gonna go in with foundation, and there's a couple different foundations I pretty much always use and I just rotate between. But today I'm going to take the CYO Long Lasting Lifeproof foundation. I am almost out of this. Can you believe it? I probably need to repurchase it in Life, but I'm going to take this on the back of my hand. This is a really, really good general, like one size fits all type of foundation. I feel like it works on oily skin, it works on combination skin, it works on normal or dry skin. It's just an all-in-one, really good foundation. You can find this at Walgreens, I believe. This foundation also gives me the coverage that I'm looking for in an everyday foundation. Like, it's a little bit of coverage, and I would say like by the time I build it up a little bit, it's a good like medium coverage. And that's the coverage that I like to wear on an everyday basis. I'm not a full coverage type of person where I need full coverage every single day. My skin also doesn't need that. Some people do need to wear more full coverage foundations to feel comfortable because you have more like texture and issues with your skin. But for my skin, unless it's that time of the month, it's normally pretty good and doesn't break out a whole lot. And I always use a beauty blender to apply my foundation. I feel like it really smooths it out, makes it look not too cakey, and it's just really fast. To me, a beauty blender is way faster than applying my foundation with a brush. Make sure, bring it down my neck because I'm wearing my hair up today. I want to make sure that it's not this like harsh line. Now that I'm done with my foundation, I'm going to go ahead and go in with concealer. I've been really loving and using a lot the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. I have the shade Light Sand. I'm going to apply just a little bit of this. You don't need a lot. It covers pretty well. Maybe I used too much. Because my eyes are a little bit lighter than the rest of my face, I'm going to take the concealer down the center of my face. It's usually how I apply concealer, just to even out like the rest of my face. I feel like if I leave the concealer just underneath my eyes, it feels very much like my eyes are, like when you look at me, my eyes are really bright, but nothing else on my face looks bright or highlighted. And before I started doing this, I thought it was just like an extra thing that you don't really need to do. And when I don't do it, I do notice. I feel like my face doesn't look as uniform as when I apply it down the center of my face. Then I go in with powder. I'm going to take the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. I use this every single day of my life. It keeps me matte. It smooths out my skin. It's a really, really good powder. I don't notice that it takes away any coverage. And I don't know, I really like the finish that it has on my skin and how well it keeps my makeup looking good throughout the day. I do set down my entire face because I am oily. I want to make sure that I'm not going to look like a grease ball throughout the day. Once I'm done with setting my face, I always go in with some sort of like tinted eye primer. I either use this NARS Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I have the shade Light, or I go in with this NARS Complete, what is this called? Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Creme Brulee. This one creases on me throughout the day. So I only use it when I'm not applying other eyeshadow on top. This guy's where it's at. So I'm gonna use this one today. Even if I'm not applying other eyeshadow to my lid, I still feel like this gives me a really flawless, pretty base, and it matches the rest of my face, and it does not crease on me throughout the day. I also much prefer this doe foot applicator to a pot. I feel like every time you dip your finger in the pot, it's just getting dirty. And I take a flat eyeshadow brush and take that same Laura Mercier translucent setting powder and set that product down. I always set my eyeshadow base. If I don't, it will crease, and when you put eyeshadow on top of this, it's going to stick to weird places and not glide on smoothly. So I pretty much look like a ghost right now, and that's fine. We're gonna add some bronzer. I have either been going in with this Too Faced Sweethearts bronzer in the shade Sweet Tea, or this Milani Silky Matte bronzing powder in the shade Sunkissed. I really, really love these two. This one's a little bit more glowy than this one. I'm gonna take the Milani bronzer today. Take a little bit. I really like the way that this contours my skin. It's really easy to use. It blends out pretty easily, so a beginner could use this. But as you can see, it just adds this really nice warmth underneath my cheeks without being too orange or too strong. And I take it on my temples as well. While I have this product out, I take a fluffy brush, just a fluffy crease brush, and dip it into this bronzer, take it into my crease. On an everyday basis, I don't use eyeshadow. I just like to have a little bit of definition in my crease to say, hey, these are eyelids and this is not like, I don't know where I was going with that. I like to give a little bit of definition to my eyes without adding all this drama to my eyelids, you know. Then I'm gonna move on to blush. Blush that I have been using and cannot stop using is this blush from Flower Beauty. It's the Flower Pots Powder Blush in the shade Sweet Pea. It's a really pretty mauve-y matte shade, and I've used this every day for the last good month, ever since I bought it, really. It gives a nice flush to your cheeks without being too over the top. It's also a really pretty color. Like, it's not too peachy, not too warm. I find that it goes with almost any look or eyeshadow look I'm doing. Now for highlight, I've been really, really loving and going back to this Physicians Formula Shimmer Strip in the shade Vegas Strip. I forget about this when I don't use it, and then I use it and I'm like, oh, I love this highlight. So I take my highlighter brush. This is the only highlighter brush I ever use. It's from Sephora. It's the Pro Highlight 98 brush. But I take a mixture of these top two strips right here. It's a little bit gold, a little bit champagne, but it's not too dark for my skin tone. And I don't know, ever since I've been using this, I can't stop using this. It's not too subtle, but it's also not like blinding in your face. I don't want my highlight to be the only thing that people are paying attention to when they look at me throughout the day. But I do want it to be noticeable. I want it to be like, hey, her highlight's popping, and that's cool. I take it down the center of my nose, on the tip of my nose, and then on my Cupid's bow just a little bit. So that way I have a little bit of glow going on, but it matches my skin tone pretty nicely, and it's not too in your face. Then I go in with some kind of white highlight or eyeshadow shade. I'm gonna take this BH Cosmetics Sylvia Gani palette and take this shade called Prince right here. On a little itty bitty brush, put that in my inner corner. This is going to open up your eye, make you look a little bit more awake, and add just a little bit more like something to your eye rather than just having that bronzer in your crease. So it's not too intense, but just a little bit to give a pop of something in your inner corner. Next, I go and do my brows. I take a mixture of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz along with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. So let me go ahead and do that off camera real fast. It just takes forever, and I feel like you've seen me do my eyebrows so many times, so I will be right back. Next, I go in with my mascara. I always take the CoverGirl LashBlast Fusion Mascara. It's the bomb, and if you haven't tried it yet, you definitely should. It gives me both length and volume, and it's really affordable. I usually have to go over my lashes with like 2 coats of mascara, so I get them to kind of how I want them to be, and then I notice that they fall a little bit. So then I have to go over them one more time with some more mascara. And guys, if my lashes don't look good, like if I can obsess over them, I will be here sitting here fixing my lashes with this mascara for years. If I'm late to anything, it's because my lashes were not cooperating. And I can't go out looking with like bad lashes. No, that's just not the case for me. I will hyper focus on them to the extreme. Then for liner, I usually either take a nude eyeliner. I usually use the MAC NC15 NW20 eye Kohl, or I go in with this Maybelline waterproof gel pencil in the shade Glazed Toffee. It's a brown, so something not so bam, it's black in your waterline. I try to keep it a little bit more natural so that my eyes look awake and open. Today I'm going to take this MAC eye Kohl. It's a really nice nude shade, but I think you could probably pick up just a regular nude shade somewhere else too, like not have it be so expensive. So now that that is done, I take my mascara and run a coat of them on my bottom lashes. Then I'm basically done. This is my everyday go-to makeup. I don't put any lipstick on because I don't have time to like fix my lipstick throughout the day. If I'm gonna wear lipstick, it's to a nice event or something like that where it's a special thing, not an everyday. Lipstick is not an everyday thing for me. I'm mainly focused on my face, just making sure that it's gonna last throughout the day and that my eyes look awake and bright and just very natural. It's a very natural type of everyday makeup. All right, you guys, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had a wonderful day and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.